it's basically just like, okay, ruler, let's try to make it so you can't play the game.
Well, it's it is set that doesn't have Hex Flash. We have to keep reminding people of that. So
line as we are ready to jump into game number 1. Match 8 here. Life Esports up against Gen.g. And off we go. Deft on his famous Caitlyn once again in 2021.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the first Caitlyn we've seen this year here in the LCK. And if it ever ends up being a little bit stale, they change it. Johan coming over here once again, and they are in a risky spot. TF.
Okay, well, this is a counter engage if I've ever seen one, with the Nocturne ultimate being used, but he's in the mid lane. Flashing in at 3 here is Klid. And now we have the TP coming in from, it looks like, Morgan, as he's looking to get the Cogbot into the back line, but not actually able to do too much damage. Finds BDD, who flashes away. And Gen.g are able to keep them at arm's length here and at range, and nobody will die.
It's actually a really cool exchange. So BDD uses his teleport. Rascal gets to keep his, but he ults to the mid. Klid's nearby, however. He's coming all the way around.
Yeah.
Has not been seen, I don't think.
It's a bunch of summoners that we used, and this is a level 6 Volibear gonna just jump on Deft and take him down. The Caitlyn, we mentioned, should be safe, but the second that the level 6 Volibear attacks this lane, there is no hope for the flashless Caitlyn.
And the kill is practically immortal under a turret, so it's very difficult to actually really bully him or to get tons of value. And if you do overextend, you can get punished.
Oh man, and look at this. Look at the way this 1v2 is going. That is not good news. Deft almost dies, but, you know, calculated at the end, I suppose you could say.
Raz game, but they're actually significantly ahead in gold. As we watch this happen once more, he actually goes for clearing the minions, and that puts him actually in tether range. That's all it takes. You've got the ultimate there, and yeah, he channels under the turret, but still only gets hit twice. And
This is a great thing. Oh, we're actually going to have a 2-on-1 here, and Rascal is just caught out. He's going to flash away, and he gets away from the gold card, but Exhaust and Everfrost and the Equalizer. So much used to get this kill. Nice gold card on the BDD, kind of shuts down any further response.
They even used the Destiny as well.
Yeah. Just a position for this objective. Morgan is a bit out of position, but again, he is the set. Although the rest of his team is not really near him at this point in time. Morgan is in a bit of trouble. Paranoia does come in. He's trying to survive. He flashes into 2 other Gen.g members. And just like that, Chovy destinies to the top side. Says, we are done with this fight. We are not going to fight, even though the Equalizer is pretty nice. But this is just going to be the Infernal after the pick onto Morgan.
Life Esports' lead in gold has led to a lot of plate advantages, or rather their lead in this game, their control of the map has led to plate advantages and turret destruction, right? That's the real. They did not. They betrayed him. They walked away. So he ends up wasting as well a very critical flash here, in fact.
Oh man, Johan actually does an insane amount of damage. BDD though looking to turn it around. Here comes Klid with the Predator, trying to hop on in, and Johan is just dead meat with life coming up here as well. He will be able to secure that kill onto Johan, who went just a little bit too deep. Has been taken down. And here we go. We're gonna have to fight the Destiny straight into the back. This catch that this comp has is pretty huge, but look at Rascal in the back line. Life goes down, and Rascal is all alone.
They actually pull this off. I really didn't think they were going to be able to have the coordination to make this happen. You have the Destiny come through. It's so perfectly timed here. And even with Wild Growth, it's just not enough to save Gen.g. They can't turn it. Paranoia, it not held very long, actually used to try to get a counter kill on the other side. Rascal is blown up instantly as well, and 2 kills means that they can actually look for a Baron play here.
Yeah, and you see that BDD is looking to make the super play, but the Shuriken is going to miss. Klid is okay.
Karma's pretty good.
Yeah, BDD, he has to go in 1v5. Can he make something happen? He gets a kill. And he actually takes out the enemy jungler.
And stops Baron critically.
Yeah.
Which is extremely important here.
It works.
Heroic play.
He just goes in and just kills you, right?
Yep.
They're reaching that point where the damage might just be overwhelming. But Life do have a lot of tools, right? As here we go, the Equalizer, they're looking for the engage, and Life just disappears. See you later. I think if you're Gen.g, you want to have any hope of winning these fights, you got to group up and keep your squishy guys alive, because the amount of range damage and catch that Life have in their composition.
TF. When I first saw it, I thought, well, normally in LCK we see TF used to kind of snowball the top lane in the early game, But in this particular case, he's using it as extra threat. So Morgan once again going to look for the engage.
Destiny Gate does come in, and they're actually looking to the mid lane. Chovy maybe not looking at the bottom side, and now Kog'Maw's trying to get that kill, but Sonya's is going to keep him alive. Can they actually take down Chovy? No, they can't. In goes BDD. Immediately gets gold carded in the face, and that's not going to be a kill. He was looking for the 1v5 play there for the assassination shutdown, but immediately Chovy just puts up the hand and says no.
I mean, he just gave him a yellow card in the game, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's no black card in this game, but we live this. I think we might witness it one more time right off the get-go. So you talked about it. The focus here is on the bottom side of the map for Morgan. Chovy overextends, has to flash back here, and then look at the collapse in. You see he instantly goes golden through the equalizer, dodges the Kog'Maw shot, hits the gold card. Everything is perfect, and he casually waits for 1 second before he backs. I guarantee you, he said something to his teammates in that moment. Like worth or lived, got it.
As well, of the pit at least, and over the pit. It's going to take a while. I mean, gen.g know this is happening. It's going to be up to Clit to try to steal it away. He's the same level as Johan. Could definitely get it going, but they're looking for the turn here. The cleanse comes in from Ruler, and the paranoia immediately pushes them back and denies any further engage from Hanwha Light.
However, with the paranoia down now, it's like you've already used your tool. Now it's like, okay, cool, you delayed it. How do you stop it this time? If they
already, one gold card can just end your life if you do not have that cleanse here.
Yeah, it's like if you're in gold card range, if you're in rapid fire cannon range, like you've already lost.
Like this,
yeah.
You gotta be careful. I mean, he might just die. Like immediately, he has to flash the wall to try to get out of this one. Where is the Kog'Maw? He can't do anything.
This is so insane. gen.g might be out of this game.
Yeah, BDD's going to go down, and this is how gen.g's comp falls apart. The pick and the amount of damage that this TF is doing is too much for gen.g to handle.
Well, this might be one of the most exciting games I think we've seen of the whole split so far. This is so well played from Hanwha Light from start to finish. Every single moment where it feels like gen.g might be able to start this poke fight. They might be able to take an exchange. Remember, they have the paranoia, right? They have really strong engage with the volley bear, but it's just one gold card, and suddenly your whole comp falls apart.
Lid, can you do it?
Oh,
You've got an ult in it. Nope. Ult in a dream. Turns out that the dream is a meme today. At least gen.g got the ocean
point. It's more of a, he can't get into range to do damage.
Yeah,
so
he's just trying to play the game.
Yeah, he's just trying to play the game, but he can't. He's not allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been a few overextensions, let's say, on the Kog'Maw, but
all right, paranoia. This is one way to do it. Try to isolate the TF and take him out. Down will go the Rumble. That's a really nice pick from the side of gen.g, but immediately, okay, well, BDD's going to potentially go down here. There's the trap. Ton of damage comes out of depth, just bursts him down, showing his prowess on the Caitlyn.
Chovy just will not die. You can call him a KDA player if you want. In this game, sure. You know, you can look at those numbers and you can say, yeah, he's just playing for his KDA. Oh, yeah, sure, he certainly is, and it's very high. It's going to get
working.
It's working. It's working, and now this is going to be a kill onto the inhibitor.
This is just insane.
I mean,
Karma TF that's ahead. I mean, what are you going to do against this? I don't know if you can play a hyper carry in this situation, although the living artillery is actually helping a lot. He's doing a ton of damage from very far range. Some turrets, and the cleanse and the flash is about to be available for the Kog'Maw with the wild growth. So this is one of those times where gen.g are actually strong. Chovy without his flash.
Look at all the
one auto, and the equalizer, and wild growth has to be used. But look at the damage from, well, BDD's gone. Somehow he got in there. He was doing a lot, but then he immediately just disappeared in the shroud. And of course, Rascal tried to follow, but immediately got gobbled up.
Look at all the wards across this part of the map, too, for Hanwha Life Esports. There's no flank, there's no unknown, and BDD just cannot live through the damage. He's executed immediately before he can even use his Zonias. It's not on cooldown. That's right, he just didn't get to use it in that moment. He's blown up so quick, and that was without Chovy showing up. That was without a gold card to lock him down. It's the burst damage this composition has in spades. And now this is going to be another small advantage here for Hanwha Life Esports. They're going to take down these inhibitor turrets, which, you know, unfortunately for them, the Ocean Drake doesn't do a whole lot for their composition. I don't know about this one, gen.g.
They have insane Baron damage, though.
Yeah, but can they get out? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Life are going to be like, no, you can't just do this. But
Paranoia.
Paranoia comes down, denying all the vision, and the Baron is going to go the way. And look at Toby, he's being tucked down. Did gen.g find the win condition? I think they have. They take down the Baron, and now Ruler's just frontlining. He's able to get the one, can't get anything else, but gen.g are coming back in this game.
gen.g need to be able to back here. The base is under siege right now by a lot of minions. Look at the damage here for Deft. It's not over by any means this game. It's going to take gen.g a long time to get across the map, but somebody is still going to have to deal with those super minions at home.
This is Ocean Soul.
It is going to be Ocean Soul. Again, it feels like at 42 minutes into the game, though, somewhat inconsequential. I mean, it's really going to help when you do end up eating that gold card into a lot of damage and you walk away, you regen. After every fight, everyone resets anyways. I feel like when we talk about the Elder Drake, though, with these compositions, like Chovy hits you with that rapid fire cannon, you die, right? Yeah. So they cannot get that one up.
They're going for it. Toby's in. He looks for the gold card, but BDD will take him down, and Ruler is still alive, and now there's a front line for Ruler to just fight front to back, and they're in the back line now of Hanwha Life. gen.g, they have done it. They have won this game somehow, some way. 45 minutes in. Unbelievable. They will get the clean ace at 45 minutes, and they will take the game.
And very much a one moment where Hanwha Life Esports see blood in the water. They pull the trigger. They think they can get that single pick. They can win the 5v4 and push to win the game, but it doesn't happen that way. For the first time, it feels like throughout the entirety of this 45-minute game, the turn is quick. It's on top of Chovy. He is shut down in less than a second and a half, and that's the game. gen.g, with great patience, persistence in this game, fights over the Baron where they had no vision. Target, even with Featherstorm, it's going to be pretty tough. So I actually like gen.g's comp a lot more. Even though neither of these comps feels super strong, they feel a little bit dated. I kind of lean it towards gen.g here.
Yeah, I
position on Hanwha Life Esports. So as we head into the second game, the onus really is here on Hanwha Life Esports to make this draft that feels like 60% of what is a strong draft come to fruition, because Chovy on set, you know, he's one of the first players to play it consistently in the mid lane. I remember when he played at Worlds, all the casters. Like defensive Gnar ultimate,
so many tools.
But, you know, it's the amount of damage. Klid's coming in.
So there's no flash here on Vista, so he looks like he's just dead. Although a kill traded back here by Deft. Really nicely done to make the most of it. Ruler really struggling to make it into that fight. Your crux. Now, Klid is down here again. Seems like Hanwha Life haven't really read into this possibility.
Deft has flash, and he's so far out of position.
They're just going to go for Vista here again. If they get the knock-up, I think he's just dead. Easy kill, and they had no idea. Great pathing from Klid to make his way down there, and Hanwha Life just caught with their pants down once again.
Now,
he's on the hunt again.
Chovy's in trouble.
Klid, he loved the action from game number 1, and now Chovy's like, yeah, let me just go ahead and CS.
Yeah. Chovy was like, do I try to kill BDD or do I get these minions?
At least my CS number will look good. Yeah. He's got that going for him. But Klid is just running like tank. And this is the third game.
Okay. Vista's dead again.
And they had the kill over to BDD. This is getting real rough for Hanwha Life. I mean,
I think, you know, Chovy had just used his teleported back to catch the wave that BDD pushed into his turret as he died. Then he had to deal with that, so he couldn't rotate down. It's perfect timing.
Oh, Rascal is looking for it, but he's going to come face to face with the enemy jungle. He will not get the kill, and Johan is in position to deny that. So Rascal, he's, you know, I like the energy. He understands, right? He's like, all right, we're getting a lot of kills. We're being aggressive. That's what this is about.
I feel like you're like a slightly disappointed coach, but also like, you're like
good effort, good effort.
Good hustle.
You get him next time, sport.
All things considered, this could be a lot worse.
Oh. I do not believe that Johan saw him. And Klid knows exactly where he is. So here we go with the equalizer down, just trying to get away, but he ults and predicts it, and Klid is just stomping Hanwha Life tonight. What is going on?
Rascal comes through too, it's not over yet.
And here's BDD. He's up here on the top side too. He wants part of the fun.
How many rotations does it take to screw in a...
Yeah.
They're not able to get the kill there on the top side. Meanwhile, Deft is playing angry.
the deft comp, right? You get a bunch of shields up, you get a pretty thick front line, as we mentioned during the pick ban, and you kind of just play defensive. You're like a brick wall, and you try to deny the engage. This is just a 1v1 that Rascal might just go for, and that's going to be it. The Paranoia execution from Rascal 1v1. Morgan does not respect it, and that is just straight up outplay from Rascal.
I mean, that was just so strange because that's not a good thing. That's not something you ever want to have to do.
Uh-oh, here we go. No Feather Storm used just yet. Everybody is teleporting into this fight. The Paranoia will be used, and gen.g saying, hey, you want to go? We're going to go. They're jumping in onto Vista, and there it is. The execution comes out from BDD. Nice amount of damage is being thrown out, though, and now the Wombo combo comes out from the Gnar, and the Zaya pulls in all the feathers. Johan burns them to a crisp, and that is the ace going the way of Hanwha Light.
Now notice Vista was the first one to be blown up. Who's the other person dead on Hanwha Light? It's Chovy. Every single cooldown, every single ability was tossed into a set who tanked the majority of that damage.
I feel like we've seen this before.
Yeah, this literally happened in our first series. It feels like I've seen so many times. The Featherstorm is good here, you know, from Deft. But like, I feel like so many times I watch these scenarios, and look at where Deft stands in this fight. He's completely untouched. And Vista's executed, and look at that. Nope, Chovy gets the grab here, and instead of turning, everybody tries to focus down Chovy, and the Haymaker not only does a massive amount of damage, but it allows the free flamethrower to come through here from Chovy. You see Morgan come through with the Gnar as well, but the target selection in that fight was just not correct. As soon as the showstopper came through, gen.g forgot who they were came to kill.
Deft? He has Flash and Feather Storm, but he's still dead, I think. One more auto, he gets it done, and that's a shutdown into the pockets of Ruler. He has an insane team fight in the last one, and then he just kind of gets caught by himself in the mid lane.
Yep.
Try to the mid lane. If the Rakan comes in and you cannot avoid the knockup, you have to respect it. But he didn't. You mentioned the greed, and I think that was the greediest thing. He should have just flashed it or Feather Storm, but he didn't.
Meanwhile,
Rascal is just going to die. Not sure what's going on with people just randomly getting caught in side lanes, but we've seen that bunch over the last.
I think they just want to play around a lot of this vision. You can't Paranoia in if you don't have that vision. If you can clear all that out and then start to make your way towards the Drake, it makes it a lot more difficult for the engage to happen for Rascal. And Morgan has the ability to make a play happen, but he's only got a little bit of time.
Okay, Morgan, you use that Gnar onto Clid, and Clid survives. So now a big cooldown is gone, and in goes the knockup. Huge play from Life, gets the big engage. But Vista staying alive, Toby's staying alive. Can they do anything? Doesn't look like Toby's going to do it alone this time around, and that's a double kill. What an engage from the side of gen.g, and also the Gnar being used so early on. They see blood in the water, and they win a huge team fight plus the Drake.
Yeah, that's the issue. You use the Gnar so early, he times out. So he feels he has to do something. You sit back and wait, and essentially you're going to be 4v5ing in that fight without the Mega Gnar. So he decides to go in, but it's the wrong choice. And then this composition, right, like I said, so difficult to play against, all the dive and all the threats on gen.g's side. But when you're actually the ones trying to set up a failed engage, because look at the Morgan's bar here. He has to use this, right, but he can't pick off Clid. He can't get the kill. Now he's Baby Gnar again. And look at the collapse. If you're not set up here, you are just going to get trashed on by the composition of gen.g. I mean, even the Rakan ult follow-up there was just so beautiful. And it's so easy.
Deft gets caught. He didn't have flash.
Execution to this grab for Hanwha Life. It just doesn't have the same sort of synergy. As Chovy's on the wrong side of this team fight.
Chovy, I think he was looking to get life here, but that's not actually going to happen. gen.g looking to turn this one around. He goes in onto the set.
Again.
Do they have the damage to take him out? The answer is pretty much no, and it is just a crazy wombo combo into the backline. BDD's going to be the first one to go down, and this time around, Deft stays alive. And this is what we've seen so many times.
Is this a magnet set or something? Like, why is everybody so attracted to him? Why do you ult the set of all the people you can ult in this fight, of all the people to right click? He has Haymaker.
Ruler's trying to go 1v3 right now, and I feel like Ruler's one of the only people who could do that on a low-range carry, like a Kai'Sa.
It's like Chovy and gen.g are trying.
Teleport coming in from Rascal, and I don't think Hanwha Life have any idea until right now. Yep. Where Rascal does show on the ward. We are going to be fighting over this Infernal Drake, the Gnar bar. reaching very close, and this is for the Infernal Soul. Into the back line, they get Deft again, but this time it's Infernal Soul, and Deft will go down. He uses his Feather Storm, but it is not enough, and now BDD is just literally assassinating people from 100 to 0. Triple kill, Penta, yells Ruler, but I don't think it's going to be the case here. They're a little bit too far away. BDD wants it, and with no Baron up, I suppose it's okay.
It's okay.
That they are chasing for this, but...
Indeed.
Okay, watch this. Rascal's trying to go 1v2, and he's gonna do it! Somehow! We don't get to see how that fight begins, but he makes it happen. And that is a huge play.
He has Randwins, he has Steel Caps. I guess that's going to be pretty handy here. We're going straight into this.
We're rushing this replay.
Is behind the scenes of how our replays are made. Okay, here we go.
How it's made.
They hide, they wait, they see him, and then he just comes straight in and gets a ton of value off of this spear.
Interesting that he focuses the full health Rumble, identifying the threat of the two.
I mean, that's where the real damage is going to come through, because Nara doesn't have his bar up. And if you look at where we are in this game now, sure, there was a scary moment there for just a second, but this makes the Baron free. Like, it was already probably going to be almost impossible for Hunter to
that turret on the push.
Yeah, I mean, now you just back off, come down, mid turrets down, look at the bot lane, Rascal's here. He's looking for they're looking for all three. I mean, you can't deal with... You can't actually deal with any of this pressure without grouping. And even if you do group, you're somewhat vulnerable. Anyone's on the edge because his comp will actually collapse and kill you. And that was the theme, and has been this entire game.
Yeah, lots of threats on the side as BDD is looking for blood, takes out the Rumble, and in goes Ruler, assassinates Deft 1v1, and we will have our Ruler ending, as he mentioned, before the games even began. This is going to be the 2-0 going the way of gen.g tonight. And what an exciting series, gen.g able to pull it out here. Game number 1 was absolutely insane. Game number 2 just reaffirmed what we learned from the first game, and that is that gen.g is the better team tonight. They absolutely proved it here in the second game. Jovi gonna make a last stand, but that will be his 6th death of game number 2. And in 31 minutes, gen.g will take down the Nexus, having a little bit of fun with their Zhonya's before they do the job.
And this is going to be one of those series that starts with a bang. One of our closest and definitely our most exciting game of the split to start it off. But game 2 kind of ends with a whimper.